We are freezing some tomatoes together. I need to get some work done, and I might as well talk with all of you. I'm going to share what's underneath this basket for the harvest. There is a situation over here. And then we're going to chat about the weather and this. This is a teapot. These are all really interesting. I have a cat named Turbo that is fighting with my divider now that I'm live. So I really don't want this broken. What happened is my grandma is no longer living independently and had to clean out her independent living place. And so I got cool things like this. There's a whole set, plate, cup, bowl. And then I got that decorative thing that my daughter really likes. Just going to put that right there, I guess. So let me know if you freeze tomatoes. So I'm using this size today is what we're going to go through. We're going to talk about why, how, and all the things, and then plan with the harvest and the plan with the weather. So why don't we just say hi to people? Excuse me. Yesterday when I went back to the computer for the tallow live, the sound never switched to my mic on this. It was on the laptop the whole time. I watched the replay and I was like, the sound. Why? CR is here. Creative redundancy. Hello, Shawnee, the awesome gardener. Thank you for the nice words. Yes, we're going to look at some snacks. We have Adam. Good evening. Bowtie Life in the Garden says first, freeze, then can tomatoes as sauces. I said can them because that is the ultimate target. I freeze them to be able to separate the water for thicker sauces, then adjust back as desired. Looking to see. Okay, yes. Did I say hi to Jay? Hello, Jay. I don't know if I said hi yet. There you are. I did ask Jay if it stopped raining because we heard last night at the tallow rendering live there was some rain happening. And the answer right here, we got about 16 hours of rain that stopped at about 11 a.m. today. Isn't that wild? I am super excited that it is raining right now, or it was raining, just a little shower over the last hour because that fall garden really needed it. Right? I'm not so sure I care about the summer garden anymore. We have some colder temps coming. It's going to be 39, 40, 43 degrees Fahrenheit at night, 60s, maybe a 70 during the day. And the warm loving crops, cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, green beans, watermelon, summer squash, winter squash aren't really going to love that. So we got to start making a plan, right? Robin Gardens, you needed and all of the above for the survey. I know I can't fit more than 4. And I feel like all of the above is always an option. And we just throw it out in the chat. Good to see you. I hope you're well rested. I do have a poll going. What is the question? How do you like to preserve your garden tomatoes? Freeze them, can them, dry or dehydrate them, eat them fresh until they're gone. And then Robin says, hello from Chicagoland, gardened in long sleeves today. Yeah, it's chilly. And ended the day in a fleece. I'm not turning the heat on yet. A simple, happy life. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy yourself here. Gandalf's here. What's up, man? How's your weather doing? Jay is in this location on the screen. Good day to all from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, Canada, in the lee of Lake Huron. I am in Minnesota, enjoying the fall weather, but I feel like, where did August go? I'll tell you that. I don't know. Radio Jonesy says, good day, USA, from the beautiful springtime in Tasmania. What is your temperatures today, Radio Jonesy? Good to see you. I hope class was well. Oh, Gandalf did get rain. Yeah, I got rain too, as I was saying. I'm super happy about that. Yes. You have to catch the replay for yesterday's show, and this chat should be available so you can read what everyone else is saying. CR says dry out west here. Oh, you need the rain next then. Only a half an inch, but it was rain. So here at home, I don't have the rain gauge up. Hey, Arlene, good to see you. Because of the construction going on, which I didn't even say that we can talk about that. But there is a rain gauge out at the garden where it matters the most. So I can kind of peek out there when I'm out there and see what we got, because it just rained for an hour. So I don't know what we got. Bowtie says to Radio Jonesy, it's not spring yet. That's a fallacy propagated by computer using weatherman. Yeah, we've got September 22nd. It's going to be our autumn equinox here. And then Radio Jonesy's spring, does that start the same day? I doubt it. Your days are always different. It is only 13 Celsius with Tasmania, but it is sunny and clear, so it feels great, I'm sure. And there's life happening in nature. So without further ado, let's talk about the demo of freezing things. So what I'm looking for is a ripe, see how it's got a little give, versus not yet ripe. It's harder, you can see the color's different. I want this one. I'm using plastic freezer bags. You may have a better solution than that. You might use a deli container or some kind of glass, because you can freeze glass. I'm going to use a bag. I'm going to take this style, like, I don't know, would you call this even a cherry tomato, grape tomato? I wish I could tell you the variety, but that's a whole nother conversation on reflecting on how the garden went this year. We'll get to that show at the end of the season. And I'm going to put it in the bag just like that. I'm not going to core it. Core it is where, see the core? That's where you take a knife and cut out the center. I would do that for something big. Like if I was going to freeze this, which isn't ripe yet all the way, I would cut out that whole center and then put it in a freezer bag if I was doing that. So what happens when you freeze a tomato? Let's check my notes here. I am going to take the tops off, and that's what that bowl is for. And if I ever find something that I need to wipe off of it, I can do that. I know this is just, it's tedious, right? Let's see here. So different types of prep options are available. This is just whole and in the freezer bag. And then you would label it if you would ever so please to do that with what it is, when you froze it, the year, right? The date, all that stuff. Some people like to core them, like I said, and then put it in the freezer bag. Some people blanch them, where you core it, cut an X, put it in boiling water for so many minutes, take it out of boiling water, put it in an ice bath for so many minutes, peel the skin off, and then freeze it. And I don't do that. And why, you might ask? Because when you freeze it and then take it out of the freezer and thaw it, the skin just pulls off. Kind of like when you roast it. If you ever roasted a tomato, you've cut it in half and you put it flat side down, and when you roast it, the skin will peel off when it comes out of the roasting process. The shelf life is 6 to 8 months. We all know that stuff's been in our freezers for over a year. Who are we kidding? Okay. We don't have to keep secrets here. I'm also looking for anything that's split, buggy, moldy, wrinkly. Like, this is okay. I'm going to freeze this kind too. And I am going to put it in the same bag. Now, I'd love to hear from you all how you freeze your tomatoes, because I think a lot of people do this. What happens when you thaw it? Like I said, the skin will come off easily and the texture does change. It becomes smushy. It's not going to be good slicers for bacon sandwiches, okay? So we're going through and we're just finding ones that feel ripe. Now this one still looks a little orange and it's pretty firm still. So I'm going to say that one needs some more time. It's going to ripen as it sits out, just on a shelf, on a cart, in my kitchen, in my living room, on a dresser, on the table, on the floor, on the way to the basement, wherever we can stick her, right? So, uses for frozen tomatoes. I want to hear that too from you in the replay, here in the live as well. My use for these specific strategy here, for these, when I put a roast in the slow cooker, I add a bag of these to it. Just like dump the bag in there from frozen. and then it cooks in there with it, and it just adds to it. That's the purpose of these. We go through a lot of roasts during wintertime and during all the other seasons too, but not as much as winter. So I'm trying to kind of put the amount I want for a roast per bag. Am I measuring things and weighing things? No, this isn't a restaurant and this isn't for sale. So if I was needing to do that for a purpose, of course, that would be a step. Again, taking the green top off, putting it in the bag. You can use these in soups. You can use it in sauces, stews, curries. There was something else that was up here, and I didn't understand what it was, and I didn't look it up. Shakshuka. Even salsa, it was saying pizza sauce, chili stew, soup, pasta sauce. Oh, blended into smoothies or juice. Does anybody drink tomato juice? See, this one's got something on it, but this towel isn't wet, so I might have to just wash that. I think it's coming off. Okay. Back down to my notes here, and then I'll hop into the chat and see what you guys are saying. So, I think that's it for the tomato conversation for my notes. So now I'll just read what you guys are saying while I try to remember that I'm working. I think this one's full for a roast. We like to get the air out and zip it closed. And then it's good to kind of, if you want to freeze things flat, right? And then put it on a baking sheet or somewhere flat. Maybe it's a lid to a pan in the freezer if you want to stack them. Or if you have like clear bins that you put things in, like you've got a veggie bin, and that's how you've organized your freezer. Where will I put this now? Next one. Okay, where did we leave off in the chat? I also appreciate everyone for helping me get watch hours to race to 4,000 hours, and make sure you're sharing with fellow gardeners, because we also need subscribers. We need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, hopefully at the same time. And I am in a race, a competition, we might say, with Sir Radio Jonesy at Radio J Talk. We're supporting each other, and we're going to get there. Maybe I will win, maybe I will lose, but we will get there either way. So I appreciate you here with me in this live and in the replay. Say hey. Okay, there, I haven't read that yet. I think that's where we cut off. So, it is the same day for the whole planet. Okay, thank you, Bowtie. Firm versus soft. Yes, it matters in this situation here. Adam says, looking for ripe ones here. Next week, it's dropping into the 70s with the possibility of rain in southern Oregon. I'll take anything other than high 90s, low 100s. Yeah, I saw in the weather that your end is definitely getting that heat now that I had, and you can keep it. I don't want it back, by the way. Someone I was talking to, I think it was DCB's, was like, "How about 1 week? You take it back in a week." And nope. Robin says, "Oh, to still have some freezer space left. I'm out of space." So I've got one freezer, 5 cubic feet, is just cow fat. That's why I was rendering cow fat yesterday. Is I have a lot more to go through before the next cow comes home. And Jay made that line yesterday, and it was really cute. And then I have a stand-up freezer that needs de-icing because it still is the type that does that. Some of them, they make them so they don't do that. And it was a gift to me when the house burned down because it still worked. So I have that one full of ice forming. I'm kind of trying to empty it to then de-ice it. You can tell how excited I am to do that. There's a freezer attached to the fridge. That's where I have a lot of ingredients for smoothies and vegetables and popsicles. And then the bag of chicken strips or fries would be in that freezer. And then the garden has a whole extra fridge freezer and stand-up freezer that I could potentially put things in. Like today I harvested elderberries and I put them in a freezer bag with the stems, and I will process them in the winter. Okay, I think that one's full. I am a chili eater. I like chili, but I have to have it with pulled pork and ground beef, otherwise I don't want it. So I can put these in the chili as well. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So if you don't freeze them whole, some people want to prep them, like chop them up and then freeze them that way. And some people want to just make the sauce and then freeze the sauce. And you can freeze the sauce in a bag if that doesn't hurt your feelings. And you can freeze the sauce in a jar if you have the right type of jar for freezing in, or a deli container if you don't can. Now, I am a fan of steam canning, which I used the canner that looks like a water bath canner, and it has the word harvest at the top, and it has a dial at the top that you watch for which altitude you are, and once it's in the green, you start the timer. And the steam canner has, instead of the rack facing this way, you flip the rack like this, and then you only put this much water in there, versus a water bath canner where the water has to be above the jars. And I'm explaining this because some steam canners are these weird two-piece tray things, and I don't use that kind. And I will always steam can forever. But I haven't been canning because of reasons. I don't know. Can I say it in a sentence? No. Maybe because I don't want to. Is that? That's what I used to do when the kids were asleep. And there's just other stuff going on in my life, and I don't care to can. I don't have a reason to be canning. We will eat it, use it. I did make sauce. I roasted the tomatoes, the larger tomatoes, not these ones. I grow these ones just specifically to do this with. Did I grow too many? We'll find out in our reflection of the gardening year conversation at the end of the season. Future show. Make sure you're subscribed. Bowtie would freeze the wrinkly ones too. It depends on how wrinkly. Look at the size difference. This is the tomato my son is growing. It's just a different variety. It's not because he's growing it. You guys know. See, that one's... I don't know about that one. Let's put that in the compost bucket thing. Arm hurts from holding it up in the air. Make a soup. So I have a soup in the fridge that I'm eating up, which I'll have probably later. And I didn't love this version of soup so much. The last one was good. This one, meh. I'm not loving it. I love a good chicken tortilla soup, so that would have tomatoes in it, but I'm not a tomato soup person. And my husband can't have a lot of foods with tomatoes anymore because of his GERD, which we treat a specific way, and one of those ways is avoiding trigger foods the best you can. So it's like you can't have spaghetti, enchiladas, and lasagna all in 1 week. You know what I mean? Bowtie says, after freezing, they don't become smushy, they become saucy. Jay Dixon says, frozen tomatoes are best used in cooked dishes where their soft texture doesn't matter, such as soup, sauces, stews, chilies. And for canning, Dave Knight says, hi everyone, I core and get the seeds out and then freeze. See, we all do it our own special way. My nose is itchy. Once I get through the tomatoes, I will show you the harvest. We can have a conversation about weather more if we haven't covered enough of that. Because we just, we're gardeners. We're going to talk about the weather. And maybe we'll share about the stories of today at the Shawnee Grows home life. Jay Dixon says, add them directly to cooking. Use them to make tomato sauce or juice. Yeah, the juice thing. Some people make Bloody Mary mix, right? Or a chili base. So like it doesn't have the meat in it yet. Or even roast them with herbs and olive oil. The skins can be easily removed by rinsing the frozen tomatoes under warm water. Yeah, I just let them thaw a little bit. and then they come right off. No special extra blanchy business. Gandalf says, I wash, dry, then core them. I have a cookie sheet in my deep freeze, and I put the tomatoes on it and let them flash freeze. And then you put them in Ziplocs, and then they never stick together. That's right. These won't, because they're just little ones. That's helpful for peppers, too. You've got an owie on you. I don't want to put that in my freezer one. Because everybody needs some more time. Well, this one's dark and ready. That one feels soft to the touch. That one does too. This is just a lot of something there. This one looks ready. Bowtie says, our tomato sauces go to pizzas, lasagna, and paschetti. So I eat pizza. I really like a white sauce on a pizza, to be honest. And I don't eat lasagna and spaghetti, but my kids and husband and my other family member does. So yeah, what do I like? I'll eat pizza and then that chicken tortilla soup. I use tomatoes for sure. Otherwise, like fresh eating, you know. Gandalf says that's for my beefsteak, that is. Robin Garden says gazpacho soup fresh. I didn't try that. All the cold soups, I've never dabbled into them. Can you hear that? I can't see what he's doing. That would be Turbo the kitty. I might have to take the barrier down and we just watch the kitty. Okay, I'm going to say that the ones that are left in here, need some more time. So we got that done. I don't want him knocking this down and then destroying my new dishes that I just got from my grandmother. So we're going to go like that. Okay, here is the tray. I'll keep reading chat. Don't worry. Oh my goodness. I'm going to turn my body to lift this. This is just today's. So like you haven't seen the video for this one yet. The one if there was a video you saw, it's not this. I'm going to try and get this up. Okay, here's today's haul. So I'm going to pull out some pieces and talk about it. We have the usuals suspects. The burpless long cucumbers. And I do have a salt and pepper white version, which I should have left turn yellow and got seeds from, it looks like. We're trying to practice that with the kids. We're at the point in the season where we don't pick everything. We look and we go, you're going to be seed. Yes, you are. There is this one too. It's like a pickling cucumber that we have growing this year. Okay. Poblanos. Radio Jonesy says, yes, the race. I wonder if you've put your totals in. I haven't. I'm probably behind on the chat. Okay, Bowtie says, I got a bunch of hours yesterday, 4 times the usual. I may be shooting to beat you now, Shawnee Gross. Sorry, I'm officially entering the race. Radio Jonesy, I got by our government weather information. Bowtie says we've had 2 days where the highs were in the mid-70s in the past 2 weeks. Adam says, laugh out loud, Shawnee. We had the heat since June. It's your turn. I had the heat all summer. It's over for me. No more. Sauce. Yes, standing up, hands on hips, chin in the air. Sauce. Jay Dixon says to Radio Jonesy, I check the weather frequently and in detail from 2 to 3 sources, about 10 to 12 times daily. I do too. I have a couple apps that I go through, and I have people on my weather watch list. Like I'll text, hey, guess what? I'm seeing, chance of showers between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. tonight. Okay, just so you know, be ready, right? Is anyone else doing tomato freezing tonight with me? Robin Garden says, I need heat to get more peppers over the finish line. We're going to talk about that over here, that's for sure. I have tons of tomatoes on the vines and really only have 2 of 21 totally finished. Bowtie says, wait, if it's September 4th in the northern... Is it really the 4th today? Wow. hemisphere is it March 4th in the southern hemisphere? Okay. Robin Gardens, I'm going to can chili base tomorrow. Cooked down and pureed the tomatoes tonight. Should be canning instead of Shawnee's live. Alas, I prefer to be here. Hey, your body knows what it needs, okay? I see you over here on my other monitor, Bowtie, and it better be positive or you shall retract your statement. Bowtie says, no such thing as too many tomatoes. First, tomato sandwiches, Tom Sammy's, then sauces, then lollipop suckers, then compost. Nothing goes to waste. Oh, Jay should be freezing more tomatoes tonight. Not happening. Robin says the tomato water you get when the tomatoes thaw is great to make soups and to make rice. Oh, with the rice. Okay. And bulgur, extra yummy. You can also just throw it in your compost bucket. We're talking about Christmas with different. Let's see here. Ace, what's up? Get better soon, all y'all. Okay, you could hear Turbo. He is totally having fun. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture, welcome to the conversation. We are processing some tomatoes for the freezer, and I'm sharing what I harvested today, and we're gonna pull them out and talk about it the best I. Oops, don't smush it. The best I can. And if there's a if there's a plan or not, thank you, Howie. I know who needs a gym. We just garden. It's great to see you, Ace. What does this say? Jay says, tonight I prep fresh tomatoes for freezing and share what's in my harvest basket. I'll also talk about some of the challenges gardeners are facing with colder temps coming. Yes, yes, we are on crunch time over here in Minnesota. Some of us are already getting frost. Not I, but some. That's a whole thing. Yes, I do freeze peppers. That's the way I like it, actually, because I've done pickling and candying, and I like them frozen if I'm gonna, if something's gonna happen. Okay, what does this say? Bowtie says to Shawnee, you have another 7 minutes to chat to read and catch up on with 19 people watching. That is over 2 hours of watch time. Oh, we're doing some math. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And also tonight, how to keep your garden thriving, whether you're preserving the harvest or planning ahead. This live stream is packed with practical tips for home gardeners. Yes, Outback Tasmania, March the 1st is fall. See, yeah, okay. Autumn. He calls it autumn, but he said fall just for us. Mother Earth Garden Club. Hi, welcome to. I got the tomatoes packed that were ready to be packed for the freezer. Adam says it's definitely the start of harvest time here in Oregon. I might be saying that wrong, and I'm sorry. I just stepped outside to turn hoses off and almost got a contact high from the smell. Oh, I know the beans are turning over here. Dave Knight is listening. Appreciate your time. Howie's listening. Oh, okay, Bowtie. It says, oh, I'll read my Christmas message, Shawnee. We celebrate Christmas every July 25th and Summerween every June 20th. Why would that be at all odd? I'm sure you decorate and everything. Jay. Howie, I just bought 48 cans of organic tomatoes and I'm freezing my own. Look at that. Radio Jonesy says, spring in Tasmania occurs from September to November. Okay, well, yep, it's September now. Okay, a period characterized by blooming flowers like tulips, apple blossoms, and wildflowers, along with significant increase in rainfall and wind. So for tomatoes that I've roasted and pulled the skin off, I then blend it up like an immersion blender and then put it in the pan and I reduce it down. And Bowtie says we do decorate. Well, not this year. We're Grinches this year with the house remodel. Well, the 10-year house remodel. Okay, so today I did pick green bells that are almost starting to blush. And you might be like, why would you do that? Well, I'm a little panicked because there's just some look, there's even leaves on that one. Crazy temps coming, you guys. It's just, I didn't cover them last time and they were fine. Oh, that one's starting to blush. But here's what happens. I'll show you. Let's fast forward the time. Can I get this through here? these sit in a bucket in my kitchen, and look at the colors. So now these are all gonna off gas to each other and start turning, because I want them to turn to be more ripe, because then they're yummier to me. So there's some bells, some Corno de Toros, some Avarskis. I think I had Loot Showers. Again, we'll reflect about labeling when we have a future show. I believe this is a jalapeno. I'm not biting it to find out, just so you know. So what we'll do is we'll put the green ones in with the color changey ones, and they will do their thing and change colors. That's probably loud in the mic, I'm sorry. Throwing peppers in it's getting heavier. So yeah, some of these, like Italian fryers, or maybe I was gonna smoke it and dry it. I don't even know anymore. Robin taught me that you can just put the thing in the freezer and then smoke it or dry it later. I had no clue. So that's we're gonna let these blush. I have more peppers to show. Don't you worry. The bigger display table up here. This one was already red. Look at the shape. That's a pepper. What else we got? That's a pepper. These ones are little. This is what used to be peppers for me. And now I can actually say I can grow a pepper. It was a really good pepper year. My best ever in my whole 7 years of seriously taking gardening seriously. Maybe where am I going to put this? Okay, this is what I want to show you. So I have all these Sugar Rush peaches. Okay. Right? Like there's more than this, and there's more out at the garden. I just was getting do you ever do that thing where you start going through the garden, you're like, "Ooh, I'm going to pick this, I'm going to fill up my basket, and I'm going to pick that, and oh, I knocked that over, so I'll just take that with me, and well, that plant's starting to do weird things, so we better take those too." And then all of a sudden you're like, "I need to stop cuz I need to do something with all of this." So this is what they're supposed to look like. See the color difference? They're supposed to turn this color. But I got excited, and these better make the color change, or I'm going to be very upset. Okay, the plan with these specifically is to make into sauce. Now, I'm going to ferment some of them and then not ferment some of them to see what the best deal is. But, like, come on. I need you to turn color, please. Okay? Please. Otherwise, it's just not the flavor or whatever I was going for. These fell off of a plant that was dying. Look at the stripy. These are gonna sit with their friends, on a tomato tray. I didn't bring you that tray. There's no room for that tray. You might see it on a future show this weekend if you head out to South Florida Sunshine Tropicals or Diva in the Dirt. I like to hang out there on the weekends instead of my own channel, and usually I show produce there as well. There's another pepper in here. I'm holding the tomato because it needs to go back in this one. Maybe I'll put it right here. Cucumbers are supposed to go in the fridge, but I do have a crate of them on my kitchen floor. Let's just be honest. There's another pepper. Okay, these are some kind of Cherokee purple, I believe. I don't remember if I grew any other variety. Again, labeling and keeping track of things we need to work on. These actually look ready to eat or freeze. There's a piece of hair. And then some of them I just took the whole thing because it'll turn. And if it doesn't turn, it'll be compost. Who cares? There's another cucumber. I'm pretty sure these are the Dr. Whitey or Witchy or whatever. This one got a little weird. There might be a bug in there. Just based on how they look and the size of them. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And this one's still turning. I knew we were kind of, that might have a bug in it too. We were going to get rain possibly, and so I pick anybody that's blushing to avoid splitting. So that was just today. I already have trays of stuff. And I went and picked up another case of peaches. And I have pears. If you've seen the photos on my posts, we did pear crisp. I made it again at another house today because I kind of cook for 2 houses. I get paid to do grocery shopping and cooking for 2 houses. secret. I'm going to read the chat, and then I think we have to do some story time. And we might be able to put the teapot back, because I think Turbo stopped being Turbo from my grandma. There's 7 boxes of cool stuff that I have nowhere to display in my home. But in the future, I shall. Okay, back to where am I reading from last? Yes, Bowtie, I said it, 10-year house remodel. Right? Oh, Robin says to Jay, now you went and did it, I'm gonna have an earworm. Adam says I type Oregon. See, now I don't even know what I normally say just to hear you say it. Oh, Mother Earth, I had my first cantaloupe ever. So good. Look at that. I would like to grow different honeydew and cantaloupes next year. Ones that actually get to a decent size. Like the size of that teapot would be nice, because the ones I grew are my fist, and I couldn't find them, and the laundry needs switching. I need to have all the laundry done before they move my washer and dryer for construction tomorrow. And I'm on load 3 because somebody had some stash of dirty laundry in their room, and then somebody had a stash of dirty laundry in the van, and then somebody had an accident on my bed and then didn't tell me until I found it. And I was like, why? Why? Anyways, hey, Storms, Radios, and Cats. I'm not going to stop the show and go switch the laundry. I will wait. I probably shouldn't rub my eyes. I was touching peppers. Just get the oils off. Okay, there, I ran into where I left off. Okay, so, back down. Outback Tasmania, yes, I know about the equinox, but just letting you guys know that other countries go by the calendar month. Oh, Mother Earth Garden Club, I don't really like peppers, but my kids do. This is another thing that's changed. My husband can't eat a whole lot of spicy food, because of the GERD situation. So, I am growing, what are they called? Red Caribbean habaneros or something? And they're not blushing yet, and it's gonna get cold, and so I have to make a choice of I can't cover any of the gardens. That's not a thing. We're not doing that. Howie says stuff the peppers and are good eating. I'm not a fan of stuffed peppers, actually. I like them raw on a salad. I like them raw in a wrap, on a sandwich, and once they're frozen, then I can put them in my chili or a soup. I'm not a big stir-fry person, but I'll make it for Mushroom Mark. I would like to be a stir-fry person, I just can't get down with it. Bowtie says the dropping of peppers in the basket in the mic is barely hearable. Hearable? Good. Okay, Howie says stuff the peppers and freeze them. Yeah, I'm not a stuffed pepper person. I mean, tell me what you're stuffing it with, because if it's meat, I don't want it. I don't want to do that. I don't like... I'm very... I'm not going to talk about it. I eat meat. It's just not in certain formats. Okay. Oh, CR is chopping and dropping leaves already. It was a little tomato ASMR and pepper ASMR. That's right. Radio Jonesy says, and now I'm back after robbing the bank to pay for 2 weeks of groceries. Well, I just shopped the garden for my groceries right here, Radio Jonesy, and I got to make a meal plan around it. Because I have been cooking up a storm. I've got a roast to do tomorrow. And I'll have to probably make muffins, because I think we're down to maybe 1 muffin, and we got a couple bars left, and then that pear crisp, I'm calling it, it's all mine. So I'll need a dessert, a snack, a meat. Yeah. And then we just throw it all together somehow. Barry goes, oh, that reminds me, my tomato plant is still producing. I saw more today, and I need to harvest. Bow tie. I am waiting for my spring beans to start producing. Been waiting all season. Waiting. Annoying moment now. Any moment now. Well, just replant some. Can you do that, Bowtie? Can you replant some? Mother Earth Garden Club, my grandson didn't trust my opinion that Sugar Rush Peach are hot. Yeah, they're hot. They're supposed to be. I'm not putting that in my mouth. He tried one. He does now. Yeah, Oh, tomorrow's Friday. We should be getting the produce thing back. Do you remember last week's show where I brought the box of funds out? I need to talk to Mushroom Mark. It comes home tomorrow because we sent another box of produce to the work. Thank you, Howie. Jay Dixon says to Shawnee Girls, I have run out of garden gathering vessels. What clothing can I legally remove to gather more veggies? We always have an extra layer for this purpose. Make it a bag on the fly there. CR says, cool, Barry. I got potatoes, even growing some. Bowtie says, racing stripes pointed straight to the ground. That can't be good. I don't know what we're talking about. Racing stripes pointed to the ground. That can't be good. I don't know. Gandalf's like, tell me about it. Oh, you're talking about the coffee again. I heard you talking about it somewhere else. I don't know where we were, though. $19 for 19 ounces of Folgers coffee? Unbelievable. There's caffeine and other things, you know. You don't have to have it in coffee, in case you didn't know. Jay is talking to Bowtie. I'm on my third or fourth round of garden beans. I'm not a huge green bean person, but I want all the dried beans in the world to be grown next year. We're going to do... That's a little secret there. When we talk about what we're going to plant next year, dried beans all over. Because this year I wanted them to grow up the pole kind, and they're taking forever. I don't think they're gonna happen. Mother Earth Garden Club says, I am freezing. What happened to summer? It is over. And I'm so happy. I can be outside again. You know how many little green caterpillar maybes, the cabbage moth? Wow. Blah. You know what I'm talking about. We're all over my fall garden today. I was teaching, oh, I almost said her name. My daughter, I usually don't say their names, how to find them and squish them. We are, Jay Dixon, on a campaign to increase subscribers and watch hours. Your support is important. We're in a race to 4,000. I am not doing a cooking channel, Radio Jonesy, because I hate filming cooking videos. I hate it. It's terrible. No good lighting or space or time or care. I just want to get it done when I'm in there. I'm not going to sit and film this and film that and edit that. No. If I take a picture, you guys are going to see that. That's it. Thank you, Lovely Teapot. Is from my grandmother. We cleaned out her independent living because she has to have more services now. And so I have like so many cute dishes and some stuff for Christmas. All kinds of breakable things that I don't have room for technically right now, so they're just going to stay in the boxes and I'll pull stuff out as I can use it. But when we move, which we don't know when that's happening still, I will hopefully be able to get a system set up to display all the pretty things because I hate things sitting and not being used. That drives me crazy. And some of it's getting gifted and some of it'll get donated because not all of it needs to be in my life. But when I opened the box that had the silverware drawer in it, that was amazing. That was like a little girl digging through her grandma's closet with like whatever toys she shoved in there. And which by toys, I mean like the old remote and the old camera and the old, whatever Tupperware container. Which there was old Pyrex in there. It's pretty neat. So point of this was, it was like literally she had taken her silverware drawer with her and every time she's moved, because she's moved I think 3 times now. And it was straight from like the 60s or the 50s. The color, the style, the things that were in it. We definitely took a couple things out to use right away. Like good things, right? Robin says, I now have Tom's on the kitchen counter, a glass shelf unit, banquet table, and glass top coffee table. Oh, and a couple on the dining room table. Oh my God, I'm so over the top this year. Can you put some out with a little jar and go free will donation, tomatoes for sale on the table at the end of the boulevard there? Story time. Did I miss something? Just my normal stories? Like my life stories versus members stories? Okay, Barry says the replacement hard drive for my laptop should be here tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow? You have too many files piling up on the drone. Okay. Okay, Radio Jonesy says the Great Race is getting close. My subs today 819 and watch hours 36. Oh boy, you might have passed me. 3610. So my subs are 821. And I'm pretty sure my watch hours are not in the 36s. So it is at 3,595. I almost made it to 3,600. So now you've officially gone ahead 15 hours. If I did that right quickly on my head there. So way to go, Radio Jonesy. Looking. Oh, Adam says off subject. What is that tattoo behind your right ear? If you don't mind sharing. I don't know if I can show you on the camera. If I look this way, can you see it? So it's wildflowers that are just done in black ink. What wildflowers, you might ask? I don't remember. It's wildflowers bouquet. Okay, Terry, 5757, and Whitley Cat. My neighbor gave me a couple Rebel Starfighter tomatoes. They are so delicious. The colors are great. I found some seeds to try planting next year. Oh, it is so fun to talk about varieties of things. Okay, Rebel Star. Welcome to the chat, by the way. Sorry if it took a while for me to get to your comment. Starfighter tomato? What does it look like? Whoa, what? That's what it looks like? I wonder where you got your seeds from. Looks like there's a couple places. Look at the shape, too. This is gnarly. Let me get a good picture up, and then we'll share it with the class. Here we go. Let's see here. This button. Okay, Terry, is this it? Is this... Let me take that off. Look at that. Tomato. Anybody heard of this before? Rebel Starfighter tomato? Dare I put that on my grow it list next year? It sounds like it's delicious. I was looking for if it's prolific, like if it makes a lot of them on a plant. If I just put one plant in, that's okay, right? One plant. Right, Robin? One of them. Just one of them. Yeah, I asked him, Howie, I asked Mushroom Mark if he wanted to do an interview show, like where he was up here with me, and he's not ready yet, he said. But he does put content out on his channel. Which, is he in it? I don't think he's in it. I think he's just filming, now that I think about it. I have a picture of him at the rock garden. I suppose I could put up on the screen for you. My eye's doing something. Like my eyelash was trying to touch my eyeball, kind of a thing. And then I had touched all those peppers. He's asleep. Okay, so CR, I'll get into that story now. Oh, it was like, how many days ago now? Mushroom Mark had put 2 hot dogs in a cast iron pan that had leftover bacon grease in it. And he wasn't wearing his house shoes. And he went like this with the pan. And might I say, this was after he might have said some negative comments to me. Now, I did not sabotage him. I did not set this up. This is all on his doing. When he went like this, the grease was already hot. And it splashed out and landed right on his foot. Like this big of a section on the top of his foot. And this was the day after the other foot was smashed into a gutter because he was barefoot walking in the construction zone because the gutter isn't where it's supposed to be. So, we cooled. He didn't tell me right away. I found out after I was looking around and questioning life with the kitchen situation. So you cool the burn. I've landed on the grill at work when I was 18 or 19 with my hand before. So I've been through burns. He's been through burns. I have a lot of medical things on hand just because I'm a mom and whatnot. So This was like, I don't know, the beginning of the week, I'm pretty sure. He was using a couple of the creams that I have. Like, I have a nerve cream and a wound healing cream, and they're from one of my favorite places, which I'm going to show when we talk about how to build your medicinal garden. So make sure you subscribe to get that live stream notification when we do that. I'll have the website, and keeping it clean. And then he started going back to work, and the boot he was wearing, I think it was the steel toe boot, the foot was just rubbing too much. So then he switched to his other boot that isn't steel toe and it has more room. But his foot is so sore and it did blister. It's like a 2nd-degree burn, and then peeled. And now it's the end of the week, and it's just he's in so much pain. And so it's not infected. We've kept it clean. I have a skin wash, Highlands skin wash, that if it starts to get gnarly, I can use. And we're putting the antibiotic ointments and the things that I have for healing skin on it. And then now tonight, he's like, after the shower, it just, when it's exposed to the air, it hurts so much, right? So, sometimes he was using lidocaine spray. And so tonight what I did was I took, if anybody's seen these before, it's yellow and it's inside a silver wrapper and it's a petroleum thing. So if you don't like that kind of thing, tune this part out. And I put that on the burn to keep it moisturized. And he said it felt really good right away. And then we put like a gauze pad on it and then we wrapped it. And I said, maybe you need to keep it wrapped with the moisture, with the petroleum thing that I have. I'm going to call it a pad. And have your sock and your boot on like that, because he can't take off of work. He has to go to work no matter what. So it's like, when is it going to get better, right? It's not something we need to go to the doctor for. Like, there's nothing different that they would tell us to do that we already are doing. He did break down because he's not a pill person. He did take a ibuprofen acetaminophen blend for bedtime to be able to sleep so his foot doesn't bother him. And I think I made a little basket. He's going to dress his wound at work because he's there for like almost 16 hours sometimes. It's over 12 hours for sure that he's at work. And some pain reliever medicine if he feels like he needs to take it. And I told him, like, just tell the crew, because he's the manager, that you need to sit with your foot up and not do so much crazy stuff. Could you please? Jay is talking about the pepper fingers. They're gonna start multiplying into other rooms, Rob, and you'll have a whole bedroom filled. Barry, what do you put in your stuffed peppers? This one, Bowtie says sausage rice, question mark. How do you grow meat in your garden? I don't have any animals to eat. I have to go to a farm and then go to a butcher. A yellow soup base. Oh, really? So like yellow tomatoes, these ones are pretty decent, like meaty, but the lemon boys and whatever the other ones were, these ones don't freeze well and they don't make sauce very well once they're frozen. Maybe fresh, but it is Friday, excuse me, in Tasmania. Bowtie says, if I can get my Dorset nugget to grow in time, I may eat one on a live stream with Jason over at Allotment of the Dead. That's an interesting channel name. There is some bean soup happening at Barry's. Bowtie says, racing stripes. Your stripy tomato had down pointing racing stripe. I figured you were talking about the tomato, but I was like, when they're pointing down at the ground, that's bad, I think was your comment. And I was like, I don't understand what that means. Okay, we have a sprouting sugarcane. Everyone say happy birthday to Bowtie's sugarcane from Daisy at the Good. Daisy the Good, I mean. I know you're 68, Gandalf. You've drank coffee for 54 years now. I know. You can still introduce other caffeine drinks, different teas, right? And I definitely don't want myself being filmed in the kitchen. Yeah, Bowtie. Mrs. Bowtie hates it. Robin says, kitchen videos motivate deep clean in the kitchen. Just saying, no. How about a remodel? My kitchen is so outdated and falling apart in this rental home. It's embarrassing. You guys are lucky you saw part of it yesterday. A red color soup now, says CR. Pyrex is gold. Yeah, I'll have to get it out and show you guys the Pyrex that I inherited. It's pretty neat. I just want to display it with stuff in it, not cook with it. Oh, DCBs, I was talking about you. Oh, Bowtie is gonna have a big reveal in a week for the hour build-up conversation. Barry says, last time I dug in my grandma's closet, I didn't find a treasure chest with doubloons, but I did find doubloomers. Oh, thank you. It has a butterfly on it. Oh, I guess it has it on both sides. I kind of flipped that. Let me try to do this better. Da-da-da, teapot show and tell. It is gonna be close. Oh, that moved. There it is. Radio Jonesy. I'm glad that we're all putting forth the work. And like you say, once we hit 4,000, it's just beginning, right? There's a tomato comment coming up here. Isn't that the coolest name, Robin? Have you ever grown that one? Okay, Bowtie says, Rebel Starfighter is the hot new tomato. Everyone but you grow them. What? Are the dark ones less acidic? That makes me want to grow it too. Oh, and then does it split fast? That's another question. Here we go, Terry. Yes, if you're still here. But they are mostly purple with some green. Yes, neighbor's plant was in a 5-gallon pot, but had lots of tomatoes. That shocks me that it grew well in a 5-gallon pot. Yes, hot toes. Yeah, it doesn't look good, I'll tell you that. And he's got feet problems already. He's like limping, and it's just, I can't make it heal any faster. I'm doing the best I can, you know? Thank you all for being here and getting some watch hours. So I'm kind of trapped over here, DCBs, with the salve that I have for him. And I told him, like, I could take a chamomile tea bag that's been cooled and put that on there because that helps pull, like, the heat out of the burn. I don't have any honey, actually. There were so many things in that book that I wanted to make right now, but I don't have any honey. I'm out, and I can't get any more right now unless somebody's trading me produce for honey. Yeah, it was super painful. Okay, Terry says, tomatoes were quite a bit bigger and prettier than the ones in the picture. Yeah, like, I wonder. They are less acidic. Okay, so my husband needs less acidic tomatoes, so that would be good. Yeah, it's a new meaning. Put a slice of tomato on it. I don't need infection. He's had some, yes. Terry says, I only found one place on Amazon that sold the Starfighter seeds. What? The one I looked at was Baker's Creek, rareseeds.com. And then I bet you is it Urban Seeds might have them. When we do seed shopping this in November, we're going to figure it out. Yeah, he sleeps with a dog, so DCBs, we probably won't be doing that. Oh my gosh, we've already been up for an hour. Well, I'm going to keep talking. If you guys need to go after an hour, you're excused. Because I don't know if I'll be done talking in 2 minutes. 1 minute. I won't be done talking. Now we're throwing out weird things to put on a foot. Barry says sausage, rice, tomatoes, onion, spices. DCB says yellow are okay, but I like the dark tomatoes best. So instead of purple Cherokee, Robin was saying grow carbon. Had carbon in the name. They're less likely to split. And I would like that. Oh, Jay, I told him, I was like, It takes like 14 days of just having it covered and babied before skin starts to grow back. I'm going to read this. Second degree burn healing time varies from 1 to 3 weeks for superficial burns, 4 weeks for more deep burns, with recovery taking several weeks to months. I warned him. I was like, you really messed your stuff up, man. I've never had a fried green tomato, DCBs. I was waiting to see if these turn because I don't even know what they are. Hence, I have problems in the garden with labeling. I label stuff really good when they're little babies and they're in my house, and then when they go free, there's just a wild goose chase. Yeah, I don't own this house. I ain't touching nothing. Just saying. The tea and caffeine is very different, I think, is for feeling and amounts. Oh, tea makes you stay up late, but not coffee? Look at that. That's interesting. Hey, Beth, what's up? Okay. Feels like longer. You've only been a member for 1 month. Yes, we've had memberships for a month now. Thank you for, I don't remember what they call this. There's a word for when you put your, this up. I don't remember. Oh, thank you, Mother Earth Garden Club. There's a bunch of cool little plates with flowers on them. I'm gonna have to take them out and we'll do a live about it. But my daughter's like, tea party? When are we having a tea party? And I'm like, you're really rough on stuff still. But we will have a tea party at some point, I promise. I do have to tell a story about the dark hours today. Jay says no, darker black and purple tomatoes are not necessarily less acidic. In fact, they often have a complex, rich flavor that includes high acidity similar to red tomatoes. Pulled weeds, 5-gallon pot is huge. Well, a 5-gallon bucket I grew tomatoes in, and they weren't their full. I mean, it depends on the variety. They weren't their full like growth. They grew tomatoes, but it wasn't like what you get when they're in the ground, right? Radio Jonesy comes in with a $10 super sticker. Fireworks. Ah. I don't have anything. My banners are all full for a future show about medical gardening, planting strategies. And I don't have any other stuff open. Do I have a congratulations super sticker picture for you? I really appreciate that. You're amazing. This is not loading. Why isn't it? What's this message? Okay. Isn't there like a thank you I normally say? Here we go. I'm gonna pull it up anyways, even though it's pretty delayed here. Is there like a... Is this the full button? No. Okay, well, how do you not take it out of that? Is this the one? Super chat received. You're planting seeds of support. Thank you, Radio Jonesy. Members, throw out your emojis. Little. I like my computer wants all that stuff open. Mother Earth Garden Club. I didn't do much today. So I have hit the day running tomorrow. Yeah, that's good, DCBs. Good stuff. Oh yeah, there's a poll going. What is it? 24 votes? How do you like to preserve your garden tomatoes? Freeze them, can them, dry them, eat them fresh. Mostly we have freeze them, can them, eat them fresh. I'm going to end the poll. Robin says the yellow tomatoes are less acidic generally. That Dr. White Cheese Shawnee held up is very tasty and low acid. Hubby has GERD. Yep, mine too. And that never makes it act up. I grew 2.26 pound one last year. Most are near 1 pound. Yeah, and you had one plant. I think you got like 36 of these off of it or something you said. Wasn't that the number? Okay, Adam says, gotta run 2 a.m. is 2 a.m. In 6 hours, those bills ain't gonna pay themselves. Look at you next time. Thank you for sticking around as long as you could. Get your rest. Sleep is very important for the body to heal and make new blood. And drink some water when you wake up. And you're probably gone already, so hit that on the replay and maybe you'll hear me. Jay says, Radio Jonesy, thanks for the donation, and you dance wonderfully. Tammy Harder, hey everyone. Been listening while working in the kitchen. That's nice. Serena, Hi. Carbon, Mother Earth Garden Club. I have a carbon tomato, but it's just starting to blush. That's exciting. Cherokee carbon. It is called Cherokee carbon? Okay. Robin says, delicious and so much less fussy than the Cherokee purple. It still has all the flavor. Yeah, I want the flavor. So I'm going to switch to that one and try it. I don't like fussiness. DCB says, I like purple Cherokee ones. Yep. Richly blessed watching this now that Dallas and Philadelphia are in a rain delay. Oh, sports stuff. It's called a membership milestone. All right, thank you. I might remember that. Yeah, and I think I can go into here. Yeah, I can pull it up again if I go into my starred. There's live and then starred on StreamYard, and then I can bring it up. You and your cat videos. Yes, thank you for the emojis. Throwing them out there. Ryan's Variety and Talk was live earlier. Hey, good to see you coming in. Okay, DCBs, great question. Don't you have to blanch tomatoes to freeze them? So what I did for these, it's this size. So I'm gonna say a grape, I guess, instead of cherry. I don't know. I literally just threw them in the bag like this. You do not have to blanch them. What happens when they thaw is the skin will be able to come off easily if you want to do that, or you can just blend it up and cook it down. The purpose of these for me is I throw them from frozen right into the slow cooker with a beef chuck arm roast or a pulled pork roast. And you could even do it with a chicken, a whole chicken. And so that's why I did that, because that's the job it has. It has one job, right? And then the other ones, I can just make a sauce, roasted tomato, make a sauce, and then blend it down, and I can freeze the sauce already done. And I can add stuff to it if I want to make a chili base or a pizza base or a spaghetti base or a whatever base. But sometimes just freezing the tomatoes as a sauce saves freezer space, and I didn't have to can it because I used to can a lot and I don't anymore. You can blanch a tomato. So like let's say we're talking about this bigger kind and this was ready. I would core it, and you can even cut an X in the bottom. Put it in your boiling water for so many minutes, put it in the ice bath for so many minutes, peel the skin off, and then put it on a tray or a sheet pan and flash freeze it in the freezer for a couple hours and then put it in a bag. I've also done it where I just core these and then freeze them that way. Because again, when you thaw it, the skin will pull off. Like blanching makes it so the skin comes off. I can do that with roasting. I could cut this, I could core it, take this out, cut it in half, put it cut side down on a sheet pan, roast it, which there's a couple different ways. Either anything over 400 degrees in the oven, or people use the broil feature and do it that way quickly, but that scares me. Not because I'm scared of like fire, but it's just like the timing with kids and busyness and pets need me and blah blah blah. I have more room on each side if I just roast it with a timer on with a hot oven versus using the broiler. The skins will come off that way too. You don't have to blanch. You can freeze them whole like I did. You can cut them up and then you can freeze them as a sauce. All of it works. It kind of depends on your game plan. Like, what are you going to use it for, right? Serena, carrot seeds are sprouting. Have a rain barrel watering cardboard where seeds aren't sprouting yet. Okay. So I was going to bring that out of the fridge and I didn't. I dehydrated this size, which took forever because I don't have a true dehydrator. I have dehydrating setting on my smart oven. So what I did was I cut them in half and then I put them both side up. And then once they were dried, I put them in a jar with olive oil and then I put them in the fridge for a future situation that we're going to do. Oh, Robin says the Dr. White cheese yellow will gift me over 60 tomatoes total. It's so amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. I would like to yeah, these are just the small ones. I would like to dehydrate more, but I want a true dehydrator, which I can't get right now. DCB says I'll give it a try. I dehydrated a bunch of green peppers. Wow, peppers have a real strong smell when you're dehydrating. Yeah, that's kind of one of the other reasons why I haven't dehydrated too much, because of all the aromas that I hear about happening in the house when you do it. Here, Gandalf's like, I don't blanch my tomatoes before freezing either. Robin says DCB's cut the cherry tomatoes in half and it goes faster. Mother Earth, I used my many sun gold cherry tomatoes and made a small batch of golden spaghetti sauce. That's super cool. Boche says I'm just looking for the fewest steps. Blanching when not necessary just overwhelms me too much. Exactly. And it's extra things everywhere and movement and hot and cold, and I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Good night, Howie. Thanks for joining. Get your rest. DCB says, what would a green tomato be like dehydrated? Would you get the nice sour tomato flavor still? Well, you should try it. Serena says, when did the Roma tomato blush? When it saw the Italian dressing. And then DCB says, my mother likes fried green tomatoes for the sour. Don't forget to help support Shawnee Grows. Please give our live stream a thumbs up. The likes and the shares and the comments help the lovely YouTube tell people that this is exciting and you should come over here, right? Sharing it helps other gardeners like you come find us. Becoming a member is definitely really cool because you get access to special videos and shorts, and I've done posts and sometimes printables and downloadable things that I've created that go with a show that we've done in the past. And eventually we'll do a members only live stream, right? Probably in the winter. Mad Farm, good ending. Good evening. How's it going? We're still here, hanging out. We did some stuff together. I think I have one more story left to share. Robin says to DCBs, I've never tried dehydrating green tomatoes, but Lovely Greens channel has a great green tomato chutney recipe if you need to use up a bunch. DCB says, I would think cutting them in thirds or quarters would be the fastest. Plus, you have the screens. So, plus, if you have the screens, you don't have to worry about the wet. Oh, the ginger or mint dehydrating aromas, or onions and garlic is what I hear, or hot peppers. DCB says watermelon is good dehydrated. I'm freezing some for smoothies in the winter. Creative redundancy might be gone already. Apple, says DCBs. My kids like freeze-dried fruit that I buy at the store. So if I could have a whole area for that machine and stuff, I would definitely do that. No unnecessary steps. That's right. Oh, Mother Earth, go to bed. That's right. Have a good night's rest and sleep and such. And since you got a busy list of things going on tomorrow. Bowtie says, it is so great to be here all. I had an aggravating evening. I called BS to someone tonight and did not retract. All of you, the conversation, the show, and Shawnee Grows have cheered me up. Thank you. You're very welcome. Radio Jonesy says, yes, access to Shawnee. What else do you need? So become a member. DCB says, I do not know what a chutney is. So, tomatoes, ginger, chili, sugar, vinegar, chunky, depending on the types. How do you use it? It goes with rice, curry, toast. I'm sure someone in the chat already answered this. Sometimes you can have onions and garlic and dates or nuts in it. It looks like it's in a jam jar. Chutney is cooked for between 1 and 4 hours, and this produces a smoother, sweeter texture. The food is cut finer, where a relish is cooked for a shorter time period and has more of a chunky texture and a more bite to its taste. Apparently there's a billion different ways to make a tomato chutney. I've never done it. Oh, Jay, yeah. Reminder, the Urban Gardener has a community show on Saturday. A great time to promote your channel or show off your garden. Or if you have a question, bring it. Bring the question and the thing, and we'll help answer it. I'm actually going on a tour of homes that day. I don't know if I'll be back home on time for the show, but, replay. Maybe I'll hop in the chat and say hi with my eyeballs. DCB says, true, Robin, I haven't used it much. I got it to make apple chips. It doesn't take long to recoup the cost. Open the wallet really wide for a freeze dryer, says Jay. And then where shall it live? At the garden, probably, because I ain't got no room here. Is it like a salsa? I would say no, it's not like a salsa, but Robin maybe has some more situations here. Radio Jonesy question, why did the computer move to Tasmania, but hey, got better Apple support? Robin Garden says, chutney is a wonderful spread for cheese and crackers. Okay, it says it's cooked. Here, Jay says, a chutney is a spread typically associated with cuisines of the Indian subcontinent. Chutneys are made in a wide variety of forms, such as tomato relish, a ground peanut garnish, yogurt, or a curd, cucumber, spicy coconut, spicy onion, mint dipping sauce. Radio Jonesy says because the autocorrection on you typing is crazy. Bowtie says chutney, a condiment of Indian origin, can be sweet, spicy, or tangy, and is often cooked thick, preserved-like mixture of fruits and vegetables. Salsa, on the other hand, is a fresh, tangy source originating in Spanish-speaking countries, typically featuring tomatoes, onions, peppers, and lime, and is usually served raw or only lightly cooked. While both are flavorful condiments, chutney is often the richer, more complex, whereas salsa is characterized by its vibrant, fresh flavors. Yeah, kind of like pico de gallo. We all want a freeze dryer, don't we? We all do. We all do, right? Serena says, I thought rainbow meant the tomatoes were different colors, yet all 6 so far have been a dark golden yellow color. Dean Habby rainbow cherry tomato. Huh. Chutney is basically overcooked chunky relish. DCB says, I want to know if I can freeze dry honey and use that to make honey sugar. Well, I don't have a freeze dryer preserving book. And I'm wondering if my beekeeper apothecary book talks about this or not, because I haven't read it cover to cover yet. You've dehydrated honey, and that takes a long time. Radio Jonesy says, Tasmania, known as the Apple Isle, has a long history of growing a wide variety of apples, including popular varieties like Royal Gala, Granny Smith, and Pink Lady, as well as unique Tasmanian apple. Okay, so I told the foot story. We talked about my weather. My 4 hours of darkness. So I have had my phone set up through Straight Talk forever. At least 10 years. And I was on auto pay forever. And to get into an account for Straight Talk for my cell phone service, I don't know what email it's connected to, but it isn't the one I use. So I can't really change things, you know what I'm saying? There was a glitch in payment processing where my husband's was fine, but mine wasn't. Now I pay $35 every month for my phone service. And I am at home all the time where we do pay for internet service. And so I'm on the Wi-Fi a lot. And I had gotten a message about, payment processing, and we got paid today, but there was a glitch in when they pulled the payment and when the deposit was made and what was in the account. So this morning I'm testing my service and it was working. A text message was working. Not things that would work just with Wi-Fi, right? Obviously, you can do all kinds of things with your phone with just Wi-Fi with no service. So then I drive to the garden, and as soon as I left the house, internet connection, everything died. No network. The garden does not have internet or a landline. So I was there for 4 hours doing all the things I needed to do there with no connection. And it was the weirdest thing. Has anyone ever done that? Just say how many hours you've gone without your phone working. I'd love to hear. There was moments like I wanted to look up the tater tot hot dish recipe because it's something we've made a billion times, but I wanted to check. Just wanted to look at it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that. Well, luckily I had one printed and stuffed in a cabinet and I pulled it out and looked at it. Then I was like, oh, I should make a dessert. And there's all these pears. And I know I made pear crisp yesterday here at my house. So I bet you I could do it from memory. And I did. I didn't taste it though. So who knows? I didn't have any cinnamon there. There was cinnamon sticks. So I like shoved them in the corners and then pulled them out when it was done cooking. Because we don't want to chew on that. I don't have a mortar and pestle there to grind it up and make my own cinnamon. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to check the weather. Nope. Couldn't do that. And then I wanted to text to call someone. Couldn't do that. And then while I was waiting for things to cook, I only had like 7 minutes left on the timer. And instead of going and wandering the garden, that's like I need to stay inside for the oven. And I thought, oh, I'll watch a video quick on YouTube. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. So then when it was finally time to come home, I have the internet here and a computer. So I was able to go on there and type in my phone number and say, I want the plan that I had. And here's the payment information. And yes, re-enroll me in autopay. Yeah. That was today. I'm going to try and figure out where we're at now in the chat. Okay, I read the Apple thing. Radio Jonesy says, alongside unique Tasmanian developed varieties such as Ruby Gold and Tiger Fuji, the state's cool climate, clean water, and fertile soils allow apples to develop slowly, resulting in sweet, crisp fruit. DCB says, Radio Jonesy, Washington State grows a lot of apples. I think the state is number 4 apple producer in the world. Minnesota grows a bunch of apples too. Bowtie says, story time, woohoo, phone story, foot story. Cannot resist Google searches, says Jay. DCBs, you don't get the nice apples in Washington State. They're worth too much. DCBs, 3 days. I use a flip phone. Yeah, 4 hours was kind of hard. I just rely on it so much for things. There is the link to the community show. So you can go in there and click the notify me and make sure you're subscribed. So then you'll get the notification when the show starts to remind you. CR has gone hours without the phone working from camping. I have not done a camping trip this year for a lot of reasons. We tried and then the wind took the tent down. And then I don't camp during the summer. Why would I do that? You know? Radio Jonesy, Tasmanian apples are a significant agricultural product of the Australian island state of Tasmania, historically known as the Apple Isle. Tasmania was once a leading global exporter of apples. Oh, you got your grandmother's cookbook. There are 2 grandmother's cookbooks that I wish I would have fought for, because I have no clue where they are. And then when my mother's house burned down, the cookbooks were on the other end and in a cabinet and had smoke and water damage and was frozen. And I wish I would have went in there and rewrote what I wanted, because I asked her to rewrite things like the good stuff, and she's now passed away. And I went through her recipe cards and there's stuff missing. I feel like I wish I would have just taken care of it, you know, because I can't ask her. Bowtie says, we used to go weeks on a cruise without internet. Last year, we got new phone plans for the England trip and have unlimited international internet. We will never go back. 100% connected. Welcome back, Gandalf. We're still here, just for a little bit longer. I'm running out of stuff to say here. Jay says, I use my laptop a lot, but have hours to days between phone uses. Deliberately leave it at home when in my village. Wow. DCBs, I don't take my phone to the bee yard or the garden or allow others to. Those are tech unplug zones. They are unplug areas. Well, I'm a content creator for gardening, so I have to take it with me. I definitely was trying to take pictures and film because that was about all my phone could do while out there without any service. I agree, DCBs. It almost needs to be mandatory that people just unplug. Like I did the 4 hours, right? Like, could I do 5 hours next time, 6 hours next time, a whole day? I would figure it out. I mean, I grew up without phones, right? It was a new thing that came into the world, if you can believe it, with my age. It's almost soup time. Just talk about sunflowers for a half hour. Okay, CR. So, field update on the sunflower farm. Remember how I told you that it was so wet in the spring and they couldn't get in there with the tractor to plant? So, they had the drone come in and broadcast sunflower seeds that way. Then it got really hot and dry. And then we got 10 inches of rain. And so field 1 and 2 are shot. They said that's not happening. There's a patch, like field 3 has some sunflowers that might open and bloom. It's just been crazy for them. And last year they couldn't have a field of sunflowers for tour for this fall time because of the weather. And it's just a bad location too, I think, because of all of that. What I said. Um, Radio Jonesy says camping. Why is this on my screen? There we go. Camping is good in summer. Think of the snakes, lizards, and everything out there trying to kill you. I don't do hot. I don't do bugs. I'm in a tent. I'm not doing that. And also, I don't have help anymore. Mushroom Mark can't go camping like he used to ever since the accident. And so it's just me with 3 kids with all of the things. Now, everybody has a cot. We're a little spoiled that way. And we got a new tent so I can stand up in it at least. And I don't know why we didn't just buy one that we could stand up in 10 years ago. Wow, what a difference that makes. I tell you that right now. And I bring a bathroom with me because call me spoiled, whatever. And I have a specific planned, menu or cook style. And it's a lot to pack. And then that means I have to give up certain things that I like doing to go do that. And is it great experiences for life with my children? Absolutely. And fall is my best camping time, but now it's going to be 40 degrees at night in a tent. So unless we get another little bit of a heat wave, but not too much, I don't know if we're even going to go camping this year. I'll tell you that. It's too much work for me at this point, as we're talking together right now. If I got a little healthier and stronger and like set it up ahead of time so we could just go there and camp. Again, I work at night. So I would have to go set up camp, come back home and work, go back out to camp. Like, it's a really hard thing to juggle. We can't even camp in our backyard because we're under construction. Sensitive topic. Yes, DCBs, hands in the dirt or bees not on phones texting. Okay, I don't know what you didn't mean it that way, Shawnee. I get the phone as a camera. Oh, okay. When I was like, I'm a creator, I have to have it in my pocket. I wanted to go around and take pictures of all the green bugs. They've got to be aphids. They're in everything, though. I mean, they were in the popcorn. They were in all the blossoms for squash or pumpkins. They are on zinnias. Where else did I see them? But it was cold today, so. Bote, I don't got to do nothing for you, okay? I don't know what I said that was cool. I don't know. Let's see. Robin says to Bowtie, harvested another cushaw today. CRC, she can easily talk sunflowers. Yeah, and so the ones that I planted in the space that I'm seeing need some nutrition, they're done. But I did get good pictures of them for a future project. Stay tuned. After we hit 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs, we're going to release that project. And then I planted some late in another area I'm trying to think if those have bloomed yet. The gladiolas haven't bloomed in that spot yet. I'm wondering if the sunflowers have. Because I like to plant some every month. Because then you get a staggering. The ones that were in the other garden, they're all down and done. Toast. Who's Hazel May? Yep. I bring a sleeping bag. So my cot has a mattress and a sleeping bag and then a fleece blanket and I sleep in my clothes and I still freeze because I like to sleep not that way at home, okay? And so I've thought about just bringing the Mr. Buddy, but I'm a little panicky about it because I'm in a tent. Like I don't think I'll get any sleep because I'll be too panicky about it. Now I have a portable battery bank, but running a heater on one of those drains it real fast. Oh, you know what I do? I just remembered. You know the hot hands? I crack one of those to make it work, activate it, and then I shove it where my feet go. You warm it up. You gotta be careful. That is a name I don't know how to pronounce. Serena, my Xylangoro cucumber melons. It's a cucumber melon are weird. One plant had one growing and filling out smoothly, while the other had one filling out the middle while the ends were thin in the same bed. Oh, what causes this? Bad pollination and stress. Like too much heat, not enough water, and then bad pollination. Robin says, which one did you name Hazel May? There were 2-inch cages. Oh, you're talking about Robin's squash? Okay. That's right, that story. DCB, she just doesn't want to rough it. We get it. No, I don't want to just dig a hole and lay something out under the stars and just be awake all night. There's things like coyotes in the garden area, and sometimes an owl keeps me up because I'm so sensitive to sound ever since having children. I wake up and I'm filled with adrenaline instantly. It's not good for my cortisol. Where did that go? Here it is. Jay says to Shawnee Grows Innocent, look, take a bathroom camping. Does that tub fit in a truck? Oh, it's a portable toilet. I even had a pop-up tent just for it, but I don't like getting out of my tent to go into the toilet tent, so I'm just gonna keep the toilet in my tent. Because I go to the bathroom a lot at night, because I love water. So I need to have the bathroom at night, okay? During the day, it's whatever, but DCB says, it's okay, Shawnee, we all get it. The ground gets hard after 30. Like I said, I bring a cot. A huge cot, and I even got them for my kids. They don't need to sleep on the ground. Thank you, Jay, for answering, Serena. Radio Jonesy, 20 years ago, I was the local scout leader, and I used to take around 20 to 30, 11 to 14-year-old kiddos camping, and it was good for them and crazy busy for me. So I was I don't know what my name was. So I was with Girl Scouts, and I did like the arts and crafts activities, and it was day camp, so we didn't sleep there. But I planned what they were going to work on in between nature and food and fire and archery. I did that part for 2 years. And then I was a leader for a troop of, I don't even remember what branch it was of age because I hated that. I liked being on like the council board. I didn't like serving as a leader, and then I was a Girl Scout as a child. And boy, has it changed. I'm not going to get into that. Bowtie says, your camping trips sound like our beach trips. Mrs. Bowtie just wants a chair. Me, I need a large 10 by 10 pavilion comfy chair. Woven mat, yes, for a floor. I don't like the sun, sand, or surf. We live confusing lives. I hate the sand. Ugh, no. Forest all the way. Take me to the forest. And now that you said that, now I'm all sad because remember, Mushroom Mark broke my nice canopy, my very expensive canopy, because he didn't follow directions, and that's my camping canopy. grr that I can't replace. Barry says, I picked the cherry tomatoes and added them to my salad. So good. Oh, a layer of frost. We've had like a layer of snow and we woke up in a tent once. It's stressful. CSCR. GCB's at 40. You could name every rock and twig underneath you by morning. I do now, Bowtie. I forgot. Forgive me. GCBs, when you get 50 and over, you can start forgetting moving in the morning if you sleep on the ground. Oh, look, he even put it in there. He's using his wrench powers for good. There's less pollinators this season, says DCBs. Tucked by V1. Coyotes are edible, just saying. I don't know how close they are. I have a trail cam, but I'm not allowed to put it out there per the property owner's wishes. And it's like when you're in the tent, it feels like they're right there. You know what I mean? And they might have been across the road, across the field, across the creek. You know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, thanks for coming in. We're still alive. What we did was we put tomatoes that are like grape size just straight in a bag, and they're going to go straight in the freezer, and these are good for putting in the slow cooker with roasts. And then I have a garden haul of today. This was just today. And there's cold temps coming, so I'm kind of a little panicked. I don't know if I can lift that. You'll have to catch the replay, Tuck, because it's too heavy. There's a bunch of things happening. A little bit of overwhelm happening. Radio Jonesy, wow, we have a lot in common. Whatever, you like beaches. What do we have in common? Tuck by V1. I thought hating sand was a sylph thing. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I want to know what that means, but I don't like sand, okay? And I don't want to be by the water. Even though I'm land of 10,000 lakes, I don't care for it. It's pretty. It's great. It can stay over there, and I don't need to touch it. DCBs, Jay, I'll just keep raising the bug to make me the food. Okay, yes, 26 minutes to 2 hours. We're almost out of stuff to talk about. I did all my stories. I did my that, and I'm just going to read the chat, and then we'll get out of here. And I'll see you guys this weekend somewhere. Either the Urban Gardener or Diva in the Dirt or South Forest Sunshine Tropicals or Storms, Red and Cats. That's usually where I hang out on the weekend. Oh, and Garden Like a Viking. Robin Garden says to Bowtie, the is it Hazel May squash is the one left for the critters. The one that you're gonna save for seeds. They nibble at it, it heals over, and it keeps growing. I left it in hopes they went for it versus the cage ones. Nice bait. Boche goes, oh, I have a big, nice, high dollar canopy too. No one touching my canopy. Yeah, I should have never let him take it. I was gonna tell you what I had. And I could have ordered parts to fix it possibly, but I don't know how bad it was. Euromax, EURMAX. Was it the 10 by 10? Yeah, I think I had the 10 by 10. I just can't replace it right now. Maybe next year. DCBs, I camped in the real raw wilderness up in Alaska. It's a different experience. You have to be mindful of things can eat you, right? Like you have to actually do camping with proper food, putting it up or putting it away or burying things and being safe. It's not like going to the state park, right? Which I don't love camping near other people. Like if I'm going camping, I don't want to be near somebody else's site. That drives me crazy. It's a Trek Wars thing. Star Wars? Oh, I really L Triple G love. Hey. We're almost done with the show, but you'll have to catch the replay. I showed the harvest and what we did with tomatoes, and I talked about some stories of my life. Oh, is this an explanation of what Sith sand is? Anakin Skywalker's infamous quote about sand. He dislikes sand because it's coarse, rough, and irritating. It is coarse, rough, and irritating. It's the exact description of why I don't like it. You have Euromax too? What color? Bowtie. What color do you have? I will never buy anything but the nice case with wheels, strong, easy to set up by myself. Loved it. Mine was white. Yeah, yesterday's tallow rendering situation. And whatever else we talked about. Tucked by V1, I have no problem camping in the Everglades. Alaska is intimidating. Just the wildlife aspect. Yes. Barry goes, yeah, no, I learned my lesson about camping too close to other people. I'm a loud talker, and this when I used to drink. So when I would camp, I'd be drinking and loud talking, and you know. But I've been sober now. I don't know how long. It's at least a year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. I just have to be sober right now. Will I be sober forever? I can't guarantee that. That's a whole other conversation. Bochai says, I know, they're great. Yours is orange. What? It is the Tigger Villain Funhouse, or my traffic cone colored safety tent when I use it as a handyman. I can't believe you have an orange one. That's so you. I didn't know Walmart carried Euramax. I was ordering it from the website because that's where you get the spare parts and stuff. I think it's like on sale $250 shipped to my house. And it's heavy and it's great and it's lovely. I just don't I paid for one kid to get shoes. I showed you guys those, was it yesterday? Today I paid for a kid to get into the co-op for the rest of the year, once a week, plus field trips. Well, I paid for a semester, so I have to pay another payment in January. Right, yeah, not the kind that, yeah. Okay. Everyone is great and awesome, and I appreciate you helping me get watch hours. Don't forget to share with other gardeners to help have these conversations be wonderful. Hugo Homestead, hello, we're on our way out. You'll have to catch the replay to see the teapot story. I didn't show this. It has painting on it. So that sign says, welcome to my garden. There's a bench with flowers and stuff. This is another thing that was in the box from my grandma. I told a story about being in the dark for 4 hours from the world, and then I told a story about my husband's foot. So catch that on the replay. I appreciate all of the watch hours you guys are helping with. I'm in a competition with Radio Jonesy, and he's beating me right now by 15 hours. So in the future, we are going to have a live stream about what plants to grow for a medicinal garden. And I just have a really busy life this week, which I talked about yesterday with the tallow rendering live. You can catch that on the replay to hear the story. Square legs is what I have. Yep, 250 is what yep, that's the one. See that where the bags of tomatoes is? We could see it then. It's pretty. Okay, I wasn't sure like how clear, you know what I mean? So we have future shows coming up. Next week, unless somebody doesn't do their live this weekend, then I'll fill in the time like I did last week with Friday. Oh, Barry's giving Radio Jonesy the stink eye. So, yes, I thank you, L Triple G Love. Today was the bare minimum for homeschooling because I had other jobs I needed to get done. So tomorrow we catch up with some things. There's also some books I still need to order for homeschooling. As the money comes in, I will do that. And there's always things to add and questions to answer. That's why we homeschool, right? So we can ebb and flow with what we need to do. I'm going to put this on the screen just as a reminder. What a wonderful evening. Hopefully I will be able to do some more lives next week that aren't all super educational. I am trying to plan a game night, fun gardening themed questions and answers, not the words on stream brain teaser, but just gardening things. Brook Trout one says, hi, been listening a few minutes. Bye. Thanks for popping in to say hey. Check out the replay for all the cool things. What does this say? Jay says, Shawnee Grows consider simulcast with other shows to get watch hours for both. The only person I know that has the paid service that allows you to do that is the Urban Gardener. All my other people don't have the ability to do that anymore. They did in the beginning. Yay, games, says Robin. Yeah, I got some ideas saved. Oh, these have been educational? I didn't notice this, DCBs. We're just gonna have to have some hangout show and tells too in the weeks to get our hours in and to see everybody. Bowtie says Shawnee Grows our canopies are only 188 on Amazon right now with the choice of color. I don't just teasing, says DCBs. I'd rather just order from the company. I just trust that more. I don't know. I'm also not ordering one right now. Or like it's back to school I'm still trying to shop for. I need to buy Halloween costumes. I have a kid having a birthday soon, and then it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. So there's no buying anything. You know what I mean? So, remember to hit the thumbs up and grow every day in every way.